Hello everyone and welcome to another dev stream. So my name is Pyrit, I am the community manager for Vigor and I'm here with Pettka, our
Hello.
project lead. And as you all know, today we have quite a lot to talk about. So first things first, we are going to play the tutorial.
Yeah. Before I start, I just want to be sorry about the issues with the hotfix today, because it appeared out of nowhere for us. And then one more thing, we are well aware of the issues with the backend servers. I'm sorry for that. We are fixing that, and it should be fixed hopefully soon. Still, the technology there is quite new, so we are going to go through that and check if everything runs correctly. Yeah, so let's head to the tutorial. That's one of the new things in the 0.9 update, and let's check it.
Hello everyone in the chat, by the way, so let's jump right in.
Deep. That's me? Is it me? I think so.
Seems like it.
What happened?
So, as you can see, there have been some cutscenes added to the tutorial and many other things were actually improved. So, who are we going to choose?
I don't know. Like, I usually choose this one. So let's head for him. You may have noticed that there are two more persons to choose from, so that's cool. And you can choose two more women in the game to be your archetype. So yeah. Here we are. I'm just going to switch my controls because I'm inverted.
Like the only person in this building, honestly.
Well, there's like three of us, yeah, but...
But anyway, guys, how are you enjoying the improved tutorial? Let us know in the chat.
Yep.
So we can see.
One more thing about the tutorial. We are most likely going to reset it for you once more. Because at the very beginning there was the issue with Xbox achievements, which is already fixed. But as soon as I go out of the tunnel, I'm not sure if this account actually already has that achievement or not.
I
Yeah,
don't think
it
so.
has. I should have the achievement by now, so it seems like someone already did that on this account.
Well,
So we are going to reset the tutorial, but just the tutorial, nothing else for you, so you can get the achievement. Yeah, no worries. There's some radio. Let's see.
Outlander, a radioactive dust storm is incoming. Follow my instructions, and I will guide you to a safe location.
So guys, what do you think about the voiceover in the radio? Let us know in the chat. I know that many of you were really excited about it, and there is
Check
a lot
your
more
map.
to come.
There is a camp nearby. Look for it.
Yeah, like the mysterious voice is going to guide you not only to the tutorial, but even in encounters in the shelter, and she's going to provide you with some story challenges. There's a handful of them already, and we are teasing for more of them to come. So be prepared to hear more from her.
Search the camp. There should be a weapon.
So let's find our first weapon, which is another big point we are going to cover today. But
Yeah.
before that, we have
You can handle a
first
gun, right?
question. Yeah, first question. So is the hitbox smaller for female characters or is it the same size for every character?
It's actually the same size for every character. Yay, I hit something. Cool. So this is one thing that we are going to discuss a lot. Hitting something. Yeah.
That's
With
right.
the gun. So as you can see, I'm able to hit something. That's cool. On the
According
other
to my
hand,
map, next to the lake is a hut. Go check it for loot.
there's a map. Yeah, there's a map. Already explored. So yeah,
Yeah, that was me. I'm sorry about that.
no worries.
This is another addition to the game, which is the food.
Yeah,
Another big point.
like food is something that's more teasing for the future than
Sometimes
the
supplies
things
are sent by
that's
air.
now.
A plane might be heading your way soon. Keep an eye out.
Because the food itself is the new currency that you can use beside of materials, and this food can be now sent to someone in the faraway village using the so-called charity box.
By the way,
So,
are you okay? You should watch your health.
So currently, the food itself doesn't have any other purpose than getting yourself into the leaderboards of people who donate the most. But at least you can compare yourself with other Outlanders and see how you fare.
Exactly, it's like leaderboard for the best looters out there, so make sure to loot for that food.
Yeah.
The airdrop is heading your way. Check the map for the drop zone.
It's
Go and
starting to
grab
be
it.
really challenging. Like
Yeah.
there's 3 of us talking right now, so
All the time, all the time. You may have noticed that previously, if I had played that on 0.8, I would have some issues collecting all the stuff because the interactions were not in that great shape. Like currently, it's much easier for me to pick up anything. Like the interaction markers show up at the correct time. I'm able to pick up the things much easier. One of the things why we did the hotfix today was due to interactions, because it was broken on several things, like blue boxes, there was the trash cans, and even the toilets are now fully interactable. By interactable, I mean you can loot them.
Airdrops contain the most valuable loot.
so
Other
let's see right
Outlanders
now.
will also want their precious contents, so watch your back and always be prepared for a fight.
So we have some feedback
Great.
regarding the
I see you have the
voiceover,
airdrop. So can others. You need to escape.
and seems like you guys are really enjoying it. Actually, it adds to the
There is a
tension.
shelter
You
down
find
by
it
the
cool.
ford.
Yeah.
Cross the bridge and you will be almost there.
Like it was really hard for us to get the right voice, but this voice actress, she's really great at doing everything that we need, and she provides the cool voice to the game. Technically, it's no one from the team. You expect it to be someone, but not in this case. Yeah.
Not this time, folks. Chris Days said, I see so much improvement about the loot. Nice work. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
The looting was completely reworked, or like at least the distribution of the loot, which is something we are also going to talk about.
I'm just showcasing that we are finally using ladders as they should, which is really cool. I was able even to board the ladder from the very top of the tower, which is something I wanted to do
Time is
all
out.
the time.
Radiation is
And there's a
coming.
shelter over
Hurry.
there, it seems.
Yep.
So let's run there.
We are really close. So Styles 313 is asking, is there
You
a
should
way
recognize
to
exits by the orange markings.
redo the beginning of the game? The achievements weren't working yesterday, so I didn't get the escaping the tunnel achievement. As Pettka already said, we are going to reset the tutorial and the tutorial
Good.
only, so you will get your achievements, and we will let you know well in advance that it's going to happen.
Yeah, like no worries once you see the tutorial anew. It's not going to be another wipe or anything. We wiped the persistence with 0.9, and it's now ready even for the full release. Yay! I got an achievement.
That achievement. Nice one.
Yeah. So this notification even tells what I was trying to tell. So we had to wipe everything, and as I was a founder before on this account, yay, I got everything from the founder's pack. And I'm even going to get some more rewards. Like as today is for 31st, I'm going 2 batches of rewards already, and next week I'm going to get even more. And what's new? Wow, a ton of stuff.
Yes, exactly. And we are going to talk about all of this stuff just in a minute. So if you have any questions, I think that we can jump right into them. I will just switch to basic background so we can just have the time to talk. Alright, so any questions, anything you would like to know about the tutorial and anything like that? Let's see. So, since we do not have any questions, or at least we have answered most of them, we are going to jump to the Vigor update 0.98 info. So there is a ton of new stuff. There is the food and charity bugs, which we kind of talked about in the tutorial. There is also a new lobby, which is really cool. Many of you actually enjoyed that. Outlanders store and much more. So let's see what the chat is doing. Have you guys decided what weapons are not coming back?
Yeah, like you may have noticed that several of the weapons are now not in the game. We replaced them with others, so the number of the weapons is roughly the same. I'm not sure if it's exactly the same, but it should be. And as for the weapons that you are used to, but they are not in the game, we are going to take them back in. They are out just for the maintenance. Like we would like to do some tweaks and fixes on them, and they are not quite ready for being with you. Like as you may have noticed, we've redone even the reload animations, stuff like that. So everything's much more detailed now, and the thing is that currently the weapons that you were used to, some of them are not in of the same quality, so we would like to provide you just with the weapons that are on top par. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So should we start talking about weapons then?
I think so. Yeah.
Let's do the weapons. So you have this handy cheat sheet right on the screen, so you can have a look. But let's
Yeah. Like,
Let's talk.
first thing first, we went a bit overzealous with the weapons because as we were fixing everything, we realized, yeah, now it's cool that we are able to hit the targets all the time and we are able to score the hits, because previously there were some issues with the hit registration and stuff like that. So now when you are aiming at the target and you are aiming correctly, then you hit the target. The bullets travel through the air, and there's one issue that we kinda didn't realize it's going to be that big. The thing is that as there are different weapons, each of them has a different purpose. You can see by the weapons rarities that some of them are plentiful, some of them are military grade, some of them are even special issue. So we had to provide some distinction between those weapons. So the starter weapons, or the weapons that are plentiful, are not going to be as powerful. Nah, they are kind of powerful by the ammo itself. So we decided that there's going to be more of a kick, more of a recoil for you, and that's one thing. That's why it's much easier for you to handle the weapons like Suomi and stuff like that, which is my favorite weapon. Everyone knows that. So I'm handling it really well. While I'm playing with Thompson, it's a bit more difficult for me, but I'm still able to kill someone with ease. Yeah, and that's the one thing, like the weapons kick a bit more. We are tweaking that, and there's going to be the update that's not going to need the restart of the game or re-download of the game. It's going to be in our backend system only, so it's going to change and we are going to let you know. Then there's the second thing, and that's the accuracy of the weapons. The accuracy of the weapons, it's easy to be seen on the shooting range, for example. I'm going to give it a try. Yes, I got it. Like, as you can see, in the third-person view, I have the crosshair. And the crosshair shows me, if I move, that it expands. So when I try to hit something, my bullets land in the area of the crosshair. The bigger the crosshair is, the bigger is the area of impact. So that means that I'm not going to hit the exact sweet spot in the middle of the crosshair, but I'm going to hit somewhere in the crosshair. This is something that works quite intuitively in the third-person view. On the other hand, currently it doesn't work well in the first-person view, because if I'm aiming somewhere in the first-person view, I expect that I hit that on target, indeed. And as you've seen, I've hit the target on the second time, not on the first time. Yeah. So the issue is that currently the spread affects even the first-person view. This should be fixed pretty soon, and instead of the spread, there's going to be more of a sway, because as you can see, the pistol is dead on target, but as there's going to be the sway, you are going to see where exactly you are aiming. So based on that, you are going to hit the target once you pull the trigger. So it's up to your skill to get the shot right, and as you move the cursor, or as you aim down, you can compensate for the sway, and your skill is going to do the rest. Yeah, so it's not going to be based on any luck, as it's for the first person view. because yeah, hitting something in this area is pure luck. Nope. Yes, I'm lucky today. But if you are aiming down the sides, you should be able to hit the thing like this. Yeah, so this is the thing that we are going to change, and it's going to affect all of you pretty soon. We would expect that to be changed most likely tomorrow if everything goes well. We just need to playtest it thoroughly and be sure that it works as it should be. Like, definitely, thanks a lot for your feedback, because thanks to your feedback, we know what to look for. And one of the issues was that, yeah, you are thinking that you are not hitting the target because the bullets go through the target. No, they are actually not there. They are somewhere around, and as the bullets are around and you have no way how to tell where the bullets exactly are, you think that you missed the target or it goes through the target. So that's our issue. I'm sorry for that. We should have been more concise about that and make it so you can read your shots better and aim it wherever you need. Nope, nope, not this time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now this wasn't really lucky, but anyway, just to make sure to answer one of the questions. So, are the lower tier weapons supposed to handle worse than the higher tier weapons?
Like they provide you with a bit more challenge, I would say. Like,
Yeah.
I'm still running with Suomi even though I have ADR and stuff like that. Well, I don't have that in the public, but when we playtest, I have all the weapons opened and ready. I still use Suomi because I like it. I like how it feels, how it behaves. So every weapon should be unique in a way. So even though Thompson is a lightweight SMG, it's going to kick a lot for you because yeah, it's .45 ACP ammunition, which is not that easy to control. That's one thing, and the other thing is that it's a starting weapon, so you need something for you to progress with.
Exactly. So hopefully we have answered at least most of your questions regarding the weapons. Do you think we could go see the charity box?
I would add one more thing that I forgot to mention,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
that's one new feature that we added to the weapons, and it's even mentioned in the chat as I can see, and that's stagger. Like, that's
Yeah.
one thing that
That's
we are
right.
going to tweak too, because stagger is one cool thing that we realized it's necessary for the game. The thing is that people are moving quite fast, as you can see, and it's sometimes hard to hit them. So the stagger is something to provide you with the opportunity to fight against the knifers, like people holding just the knife, because once you hit them, they are going to be slowed down. Yeah. And with that, yeah, we went overzealous as well. So yeah, the thing is that the stagger on some of the weapons is way bigger than it should. Like, I've seen a great metaphor that for the silver pigeon, it's shooting rather the cans of peas than anything else. So yeah, it's really hitting hard, and it can somehow stun lock you, so to say. So that's something that we are tweaking. Still, there's going to be some form of stagger that's going to get you out of the control of your body, but not that much, because if you got hit by the bullet, it hurts. Yeah, test it for you. Using the ammo vest, the bulletproof vest. Yeah. So let's head to one more edition.
Yeah, so the other edition is this charity box, which is something we have already talked about in the tutorial. Basically, you collect food, and then you can give it to the less lucky, basically, survivors. So right now we have some food that we could donate, and we can see that we are very, very low on the leaderboard.
Yeah. And compared to our design lead, we are completely low. Like, he's our friend. So
Yeah.
let's see. He has 226 food donated already, and we are going to donate our first 54 food.
Yes.
And there's an achievement for that. That's cool.
Which is kind of cool too, exactly.
Yeah.
I think that I have seen a question that I really wanted to answer. Yeah, which is where you can get the blueprints for weapons. Right now, you can get them in the airdrops, in the crates.
Yeah, like the crates are the primary source of those. Like there's one more source that I'm going to show you right. Well, actually, it's the same source. Because as I gone through the tutorial, I got my first airdrop. Yay!
Yes.
So explaining everything, the first airdrop has the plan for Thompson, which is your starting weapon. It provides you even with some materials and with some crowns for you. So let's open it. Yeah. So opening those should be the primary way how to get your plans. The question is, well, I opened one more. The question is how to get those, because yeah, I've got some for the wipe rewards, but usually it's hard to get those airdrop crates. Well, you have challenges for that eventually once I go through everything. I go downstairs. So there's a new thing which is daily challenges or challenges that provide you with the story and that provide you with the rewards. So as
Now
I
it is
can
time
click.
to go loot supplies. Don't forget you need to make it out alive. Be safe out there.
Yeah, so there's a story for me that I need to go to the encounter and then leave, which is cool, makes sense. Or I can loot 15 containers and I can play 10 encounters. And by playing 10 encounters, I get another loot crate. So that's another way how to get your blueprints. You just complete those challenges, which don't necessarily need you to kill anyone or to compete for the airdrop. And then, based on that, you get the blueprints that you want. It's a, let's say, safer way, but it may be a lot slower than just going for airdrop.
Yep, and we have a nice question. Are duplicates a thing going forward?
Yeah,
Which is really nice question, by the way.
yeah, thanks a lot for the question, because that's something that we didn't announce to the public, because duplicates are no longer going to be there. Like, if you see a duplicate in your loot crate, then if you open another one, I can possibly check if there's anything. Nah, I cannot show you directly. But if you open another one and get the thing that's the same as in other box, then it's going to be replaced for you. So there's going to be another thing of the same rarity added for you. So no more duplicates, no more 10 times Thompson blueprints, which aren't there obviously because I already have the Thompson blueprint. So no more 3 times so many blueprints, anything like that. It makes it a lot easier for you in that regard.
So, hopefully, we have answered your questions regarding that. So I think that you should probably pick some weapons and we can go see the brand new player lobby,
Yeah.
which is another thing.
Before I go there, I just want to show you one more thing. You may realize that there's one button missing, and that's the Y button. Why it is missing? Because there's a new tab, deconstruct, which makes it easier for you to mass deconstruct anything that you want. So you can select all, or you can select different categories that you want to deconstruct. So if you are running short on materials, you can just easily deconstruct the things and construct for yourself something that's more valuable. So let's head to the encounter. One more thing, always one more thing.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
always one more thing.
Like, as you can see, now I'm able to select which map I'm going to play on. I usually select quick play because that's the easiest way how to go into the encounter. If I select a map, then as we are now in the game preview, it's going to take enormous amount of time to gather all the players for the map. So I'm just going for quick play, and I'm going solo because, yeah, that's the way how I roll. Here's the lobby in the detail. So here's how the lobby looks like. And before that, I'm just going to switch myself D&D somewhere. Hopefully, no. I don't know. Later. I just forgot how to D&D. Yeah, so here I am, running into Gronheim Valley.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
yeah,
sir.
congratulations.
I forgot to do D&D, my bad.
One of my favorite new features is the loot tracking option for shelter upgrades.
Forgot to mention that because we weren't in the building 3 yet.
Yeah, but we will have the time anyway. But there is always so much to cover, like when the update comes out.
Everything.
And there has been so many additions this time.
Yeah. So let's try to finish the first challenge, the first story challenge, which is go into the encounter and then safely go back. So who's in?
Let's see. So is anyone from the chat with us in the encounter? Anyone? Maybe not this time.
Yeah. You may have noticed that those two guys are together in the team. Like that's the thing that happens now in the game preview. Hopefully it won't happen once the game is fully released, because hopefully there's going to be more players coming. Currently, if you are queuing as a duo, you may eventually go into the solo queue, or the people from solo queue into duo if they are waiting way too long. So if your waiting is like over 5 minutes, then eventually you may merge the queues for a bit and then simply separate yourself.
Now everyone is going to add us as a friend. Guys, this is not funny, you know?
all.
But anyway, the thing with the duos is not something new. It has been with us during the game preview.
You never know when you are facing a
And
killer.
I've got the achievement.
Better stay hidden.
As we were in the lobby, we discussed a lot of things, but not the lobby itself. So you may have noticed that it looks completely different from the previous one, and there are two more things that I would like to focus on. One of them is that the price of the loot booster actually went down to 30 crowns, so it's much more affordable. And as you go, hell notes, and as you get yourself this loot booster, it actually changes the loot more dramatically than it was before. Before it was just adding 20% of the loot, and now it's adding 50% of the loot, and it even provides with more loot spawns. So it really differs if you go into the encounter where is some loot booster used or not. Because if there's a loot booster used, there's going to be spawn points all around you where you can loot something. If there's not so many of them used, there's still going to be loot, but not in such a high quantity. Or there's not going to be so many spawn points for that. And the second thing I wanted to go through was the insurance, because there's a big change that's not been mentioned that much yet, and that affects the duos. Like in the duos, when you use the insurance, you actually make it not only for yourself, but even for your duo partner. So that means that you can, for example, alternate with your duo partner, or in random duos just try to tell someone that you would like to play with them again.
You know what? I think that we can jump quickly into the intro, and Pettka, would you try to turn off the notifications?
Yeah.
I have switched to the new things we have in the 0.9 update. So you guys can now put your questions in the chat, since I have the time to look at them. Because we do not have time for salty people. There is so much to share, so much to explain, and you know what? We are not going to destroy the experience. So we are back in. We have already turned off the notifications right about now. So, but thank you for the reminder.
For the guide, yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot to do that before, because I usually don't stream my games, so this is something that I need to learn, obviously.
Yeah, like many people with a lot time on their hands. But anyway, will Vigor come to PC? You know the drill, Vigor is Xbox exclusive.
Yeah, exactly. We are Xbox exclusive, and we are that's going to stay.
Alright, so I want to use the signals detector.
Yeah, you may have noticed that once you are displayed on the map, that near the compass there's a handy icon that provides you with the information that now you are being seen, or your previous position, to be precise, is revealed. And you can see that even if you are carrying the airdrop, stuff like that, or if you are a threat.
So there has been some questions on Mixer regarding the recoil, which is something we have already covered, so I would suggest to rewatch the stream once we are done. But basically it's not a bug, it's a feature, which is such a bad joke, but you know how I mean it.
Don't
We have
hesitate to
changed the
leave the
weapon
area through the
rarity,
exit if it's too dangerous.
and right now there are many different weapons for many different purposes.
Exactly.
So that's about it. I can display the weapons just right now. You can stop the stream, have a look. So this is the changes we have done with the 0.9. Anyway, let's jump back to the game. Another thing that has been added is the stamina bar.
Yeah, that's my favorite. I liked it more before, but now once I have the stamina bar, it's the addition that the team was most looking forward to. So it became my favorite in the very end, and it shows me, if I'm running around, how much stamina is left for me. There's even the post process, which is something that I realized is good enough for me, and I'm able to tell myself how the stamina goes. That ties to one more thing that was improved at the very last moment, and that's actually the sprinting itself, because now once you press the sprint, it's just the toggle. It's cool. I like it. The
This
thing
is
is that
actually really nice.
yeah, previously, if you encounter some rock or encounter something that stopped you from sprinting for a while, you weren't going to sprint after that. But as now, it's more of a toggle. Once you've hit into something, you can freely sprint just after that.
I have a really nice reminder. Nikki P. Notorious is telling on Mixer. I think recoil on guns like Thompson are okay, but some guns like the M2 carbine are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Before we answer this question, I just want to say that feedback like this is actually really nice. You know,
Yeah.
if you keep it just really focused on the weapons that you really do not like, it's always better than saying, you know, the recoil is really bad, you know, stuff like that. If you are really specific, we can look into it, work on it and stuff like that. So keep the feedback coming.
We are really happy for that, because that helps us a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, based on that, we are preparing the changes that are going to be live pretty soon, most likely this week, and those are going to be just some back-end changes, so it's going to make it easier for you. There's no download necessary.
Exactly. You have done a very good job with the update. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and as you may notice, there's a ton of boosters used in this level, so I loot everything, everywhere.
Any comments on changing back the map markers back to blue and yellow instead of 1 and 2, or at least add color to one of the stars?
I think that's something that we can possibly do. The thing is that previously it didn't work as it should. If you were playing with someone in the duo, you may have realized that, yeah, I go for the blue star, but the blue star was always their star. As I told them, yeah, I go for the blue star, they were looking for my star at the very moment. So we decided to go just for numbers, so that makes it easier. I go for one, and the thing is that we changed the behavior as well. You know that one of the stars is 1, and it's 1 for both of us. Yeah, so there's not any issue with
The plane is
that.
incoming. Beware of the drop zone. It will be dangerous.
Wow, it will be dangerous. Are we going to go after the airdrop?
I don't think so this
Yeah,
time.
we
Like,
have a lot of loot.
I should focus on one thing, and the focus now should be to extract out, because that's the story challenge. So, let's run out! Run like hell!
Why are we donating food we take out of the toilet? That's just mean, lol.
Well, there are different sources of food, not only the toilet, but
Yeah.
some of them are even more mean than taking the food from the toilet. Like, for example, from the snowman, you take the carrot! Yeah.
Yes. There's another question. Vigor the game, why did my dad leave me? Well, that is a really nice question, but do not worry, maybe he just went to the gas station. Anyway, that was a really bad joke, but
It was a cool one.
let's proceed. Can you add an option to change the crosshair color? This is an evergreen, always.
We are considering that. We are not there yet. We are discussing how to do that properly. It may come in eventually, but it's going to take some time to do that properly. Yeah. So think about that. Remind us about that, indeed. And most likely it's going to appear sometime in the future. But now, no promises about the exact date. Is there any food for me? Is there any food for me? Is there any food for me? No.
Also, how do we get ammo for certain weapons?
There are different sources for the
Yeah.
weapon, for the ammo.
For
I'm
the
sorry.
ammo, yeah. There's no one source.
Yeah. Like usually, when I try to get the ammo for some weapon, I try to, rather than hunting for the ammo itself, I try to go. Wow, the
it's
timer is
coming.
coming. I try to
Radiation
go.
is near.
Yeah,
Don't stay
radiation.
too much longer.
I try to go for the parts, because when I craft the weapon from the parts, I got the ammo as
Yeah.
well. So that's the easiest way how to obtain the ammo. Then I simply upgrade my shelter. It takes some time, indeed, and upgrading it to level 13 takes enormous amount of time. We are aware of that. But as you can see, I've got a ton of resources now, so it should make it easier for me to upgrade the shutter.
And also the reward screen is much nicer right now.
Yeah.
So another addition.
Including the animation.
Yes. Great work so far, guys. Game shaping up really well, and the update was well worth it. Loving the progress from a dedicated survivor. Thank you
Oh,
so much.
Thanks a lot.
This was really nice. Do you loot more clothing in the encounter? I don't think that we can loot the clothing in
Nope,
the
nope,
encounters.
nope.
I think that there was some discussion about this
Yes.
in one of our previous dev streams, but it is not possible right now.
Yep, exactly.
The progression needs to be slowed. I think I am one upgrade from the level 11. Nice feedback.
Yep.
We can definitely discuss it.
Indeed.
Thanks for fixing stamina and fall damage as well. Well, we are glad you guys like it.
Yeah.
The fall damage was like evergreen in our community.
Yep. So now I've finished my challenge.
Before you do anything else, you should set yourself up a proper workplace.
Okay, so let's set myself a proper workplace. Let's head to this new crafting table, which provides you with a ton more improvements. So the crafting table itself, it is easy. It provides you with the way how to craft the weapons, and you can see even more info when it's going to be the levels for you for the weapons and stuff like that. You can even see how the shutter is going to look like and how the improvements are going to look like when they are built. Yeah, so that provides you with more information, and soon I'm going to be with the crafting table. Meanwhile, as I started the crafting table, I can collect the reward for that.
Yes. So you can see many rewards has been added.
Alright,
which is
now
pretty
that you
nice.
have some supplies, you should go and assemble your first handcrafted weapon.
And as there is always three of us talking, someone is asking, any plans to make the Vigor... No, this is not a question. Will there be an option to turn off the radio lady after a few completed encounters?
The thing is that there doesn't necessarily need to be such an option, because the radio lady, as you call her, she's not going to contact you every time.
Yeah.
Eventually, she's going to contact you only if she sees that fit. So at the very beginning, that's going to be more, as you are a new Outlander, but eventually the frequency of her calls is going to be much lower. Unless you find a way how to call her back.
Ah. You guys see? Good, happy with that. Well, I'm glad you are happy with it. If not, can we change the voice to the Pyrit? Well,
Wow, that's pretty cool.
that's not going to be possible, sadly. I do not have such a pretty voice, but you know, the radio lady is really cool too. I love hearing her. The voice is such soothing, and it adds to the tension. It's really nice. I'm enjoying it.
So I got myself a new challenge, and that's crafting the Thompson. So let's craft one. There's even a crafting queue for you, so you can see how your crafting progresses. And there's Thompson for me. Nice. So, what's the next challenge? Yay, I got myself a crate.
Nice.
Nice. Ah.
One way to get the resources you need is through scavenging them, though some might prefer another, potentially easier way.
Yeah, like you can always scavenge others. So let's see. I've got this crate, so let's see what's in. Cool.
Nice.
I got myself an assault rifle. Yeah. So as I was running around, even in the encounter and now in the shelter, you can see a lot of changes. Like many of them are in the movement itself, and in the shelter, as you can see, it appears completely different. It's now much more comfy, I would say, and even as it levels up, it changes a lot, so you can always investigate what's new in the shelter. And one thing that I didn't try yet today was this shooting range challenges, because
yeah, that's right. They have been tweaked quite a lot too.
yeah, and there's a ton of them added. So as you encounter more weapons, as you got them, you are able to get yourself more challenges with them and give it a try and see how the shooting actually behaves. So as soon as we do the changes in the shooting, you are going to give it a try and see how it behaves even on the shooting range, because the scarecrows, for example, behave the same way as the real Outlanders would. Like if you hit the scarecrow to the head and he's destroyed, then it would do the same. It would destroy the Outlander. Remember, kids, destroying people is not good.
Exactly. And we have one more feedback regarding 8. I like the more lonely and more lonely feel without radio lady interrupting the encounters. She's very loud. At least add a voice volume option. I think if you turn down the volume of the you cannot turn down the volume of the effects.
Yeah, we can
So
possibly consider that, how to do that properly, because we've seen that feedback already, so we are considering how to do that properly actually. Yeah. So yeah.
So we have run through most of the additions in the shelter, I guess. Also, the Rubik's Cube has been moved to a different place.
Yeah, that's a good point. And if you solve it, it provides you with an achievement. Like over here it is.
Yeah.
And here's the radio, and most likely there's a place from the lady calls you. Yeah. One more thing that I wanted to mention is that the fall damage has been tweaked, which was one thing that your feedback was a lot about, So currently, obviously in the shelter, I'm not able to hurt myself, but you may have noticed during the encounter itself that I've jumped quite a huge cliff, and then still was mildly harmed, not dead. So there's been a lot of tweaking. Still, falling can kill you, so take care out there. And you were speaking about the music in the chat.
Yes,
So
that's right.
you may have heard that there's a music now in the shelter. It was there all the time.
Yeah.
But even in the encounters, occasionally there's some music. Like if you are in the radiation, it provides you with some music. If you are carrying the airdrop, it provides you with another kind of music. If you are if the radiation's in but you are not in, the music differs. And if you are in the exit zone, there's another type of music for that. So that's going to provide you with some audio clues about what's actually happening.
Yes. And I just wanted to mention, before we continue with the game, just wanted to quickly run through our forum.
Yeah.
Because as you can see, there is a huge changelog regarding the update 0.9, which we slightly covered today. There is much more. You can have a look on our forum. You can click through from our website or from our social media to that forum. So make sure to give this changelog a read because it is really important. But there was another patch this morning, so maybe we can talk a little bit about what is new.
Yeah, like I've noticed one thing of that, and that's the interactions themselves. Like you are able to interact with the blue crates, stuff like that. There were some issues with that before, so that's now fixed. And the interactions are now exclusive. What does it mean? Well, there were some tries to provide you with the option to interact with the loot spots simultaneously, but that resulted in several issues, so we decided to make it exclusive yet again. That means that when you open some crate and press X once more to take all, it's not going to get you stuck as it did before. So this is some improvement for you. If you are quick enough, you were able to notice that before. Now it shouldn't happen for you.
Yes, and I don't think like there are many small changes. There was an issue with the windows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you can run through it on our forum if you are interested. But just basic fixes as always. Always up.
Yeah.
And
A lot of them.
yeah.
Like one thing that Pyrit already mentioned, the windows and even the doors sometimes didn't work properly. So they were bulletproof even when opened. Which is something that you won't expect from the Windows, obviously. So we had to fix that. That was one of the griefs that got to us about the shooting itself, because some people were shooting through the windows and it didn't happen to hit the guys on the other side of the windows, obviously, because we screwed up. So yeah, we fixed that to make it better for you to kill someone through the window if you want to.
And there has been a question regarding the loot in the trash cans and blue boxes. That there is seemingly no loot in the encounters in the trash cans, even though they are lootable.
Yeah, that's exactly what got fixed by this hotfix. You may be possibly asking why the hotfix is so big. The thing is that to make it actually happen, we had to rebuild all the levels, and the levels are the biggest thing that's in the game. So that's why the hotfix was so big. It wasn't just a small one. And yeah, one thing to mention is that this may be possibly the last thing we fixed before the 1.0. Possibly there may be some more minor updates. I don't know. We would need to check how the game works. But then for 1.0, all the features that are in 0.9 is going to stay.
Yeah.
We are going to fix them, polish them, make them useful for you based on your feedback. But we are not going to add any more features themselves. We are just going to add some more content for you. I'm not going to share what exactly is going to be in, and I'm not able to share with you what's exactly the date for that, but we are going to let you know in advance.
Yes, exactly, and there will be a ton of info released really soon, so stay tuned for that. But before we end the dev stream, we have a few more questions. One is regarding the knives, if they have different damage or if the difference is purely cosmetic, which is the case.
Yeah, like currently the
Yeah.
knives
Yeah.
are purely cosmetic. We are trying to tweak several things about them, so it may possibly change in the future, but as for now they are purely cosmetic and they just look cool. And if you want to switch a knife to another to provide you with different damage, it's not the way, but it's going to look different, and people in the reward screen or spectating you, which is a new addition, can see you using the knife that's the best for you.
Exactly, and someone was asking about the name Puko Knife, if we have any Finnish developers in the team, which we do not, I believe.
We
No.
don't, yeah.
Well,
Like we have a lot of nationalities in the team.
yeah, but
And
no one Finnish, really.
yeah. It's really a pleasure to see people from various cultures making the game together and making it running. Like the team is really great at doing the game. There are some hiccups that happen every now and then, but we try to make the game as best as possible for you for the actual release.
Exactly. The spectator mode is a huge feature I'm not sure you have mentioned yet. Yeah, that is right.
Yeah, I just briefly mentioned that there's a spectator. As we went through the tutorial and we provided you with the way how to learn the stuff, even through the story and stuff like that, and through the challenges, we decided to provide you with the way how to learn yourself from the best, and that may be possibly even your kill. If someone kills you and you really enjoy the way the person plays, you may spectate that person until the end of the encounter and see and learn how to play better. I use that all the time to check how I was skilled, how the person plays, and to find out if there's a better way how to do that, how to play.
We have a really nice comment. Hi, I really love your game. The mood is awesome. The gunplay is hardcore, but I like the realistic way it turns. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much.
Wow,
So
thanks a
sweet.
lot.
Anyway, guys, we have about like last 10 minutes of the dev stream. So if you have any questions, something that haven't been, answered, put it in the chat right now because we have the time to answer. And there is another cool feature.
Yeah, one thing that we've added is the featured store that's going to provide you with the selection of things that you can buy for the crowns. The selection rotates every day, so you can check in to see if there's something for your gun or something that you like to have, like the headgear or the uniforms for you. So you can check different uniforms and have use of them for different maps if you want to.
Will emotes be in the featured store?
Yes, emotes are going to be there indeed, and as I'm the founder, I'm going to dust off hands. Yeah, and even the weapon skins, now I own none of them, but if I own them, I can equip them to the weapons. So there's a ton of things that could be bought, and everything that could be bought is even available for you in the crates. So there's nothing hidden behind any paywall. You just get yourself the crate and then eventually get to the things that you want.
Where do you put on the weapon skins?
On the weapons, like I just buy myself one.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yes. So I got myself a weapon skin for the AK. And there are weapon skins. So for the weapon, I select that it's going to use this weapon skin. And once I get into the encounter with AK, then it's going to be with this weapon skin. Currently, I don't have an AK, but yeah, as soon as I obtain one, it's going to look cool. Yeah, that's a good point. Like with the gestures, we've added even some voice to that, so you can whistle, you can wave hi, stuff like that, and someone can possibly notice that you've done that. Like this is the cool addition because then you don't need to kill someone, you can just whistle and they know that you are friendly, for example.
Whew, let's see, any questions? So there is a huge one on Twitch. As a way to discourage team killing, do you think in duos if a teammate dies, their partner can retrieve a single item that is basically the dead teammate's entire dead box? So if the living member can successfully leave the encounter, their dead teammate gets everything from their dead box.
That's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
We are definitely going to consider that. And yeah, like we don't know if it's going to make it into the game because a ton of ideas is great on the paper, but then eventually once we test it, it doesn't feel that well. So yeah, the designers are definitely going to take a look on that.
Exactly, and for now the way to discourage the team killing is basically that you become a threat after you kill your partner.
Exactly. We have even different solutions in our mind, but it depends on how the game actually plays. We have our data on how much people kill each other, so based on that we are going to check what's in and propose some solution to that.
So guys, any more questions? We have a few more minutes, so tell us, what do you want to hear? The guns are coming back, do not worry. Yes, indeed. You can buy weapon skins. Yes, you can. And you have to earn the actual gun, that is right.
Yep.
The system achievement is really good. Earning crates and crowns by completing achievements is really cool.
Nice.
Thank you guys.
Pleasure to hear. One more thing about the skins on the weapons. Like if you get yourself a weapon with the skin, like from the encounter, like someone plays with the weapon with the skin and most likely is killed by someone else because you won't kill people, obviously. Or he's just slipped down the slope, something like that, and you retrieve the weapon. It's not going to keep the skin once you go back to your shelter because the skins are just for the user and for the very encounter. So once you loot the skin, like golden AK, something like that, then you are going to use it in the encounter, but once you get back to your shelter, it's going to be recolored to your own, which means red in my case.
And there is a huge question in the chat, and right now I want all of you to listen really closely and pay attention for what I'm going to hear. There will be no more vibes. No more vibes, your progression is going to stay. So that's the big question that has been arising on our social media, in the chat. So no more vibes, you have your progression, it's going to stay.
Yep. One thing that we were discussing is providing you with some option to wipe yourself, but this is just a matter of discussions, like having some seasons, stuff like that. We've discussed that based on your feedback. So yeah, we hear and read your feedback, but currently there's no plan for that yet.
Anyway guys, we have been streaming for an hour right now. So does anyone has one last question? Thanks for answering my questions. I have loved the game since I got it, excited to see full release. Thank you so much, so I can start playing again. That sounds wonderful. In Pettka we trust. Here he is. And
thank you very much.
Why are you all so awesome? Well, that is a nice question. Because we are. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching today, and see you really soon with some big news. So see you in another dev stream. Bye.
Thanks a lot. See you.